So if you still need to be convinced, I want to talk about some of the benefits of taking courageous action in the workplace. Because again, this will make you more successful. So think about what you're doing when you're taking bold action. If you're being authentic, you are working absolutely in alignment with your values, which will make you happier, will make you more satisfied, will make you more fulfilled in your career, and will make it easier to do again because what you're doing is true for you. So that really does lead to a feeling of integrity and happiness. Taking bold action also will continue your growth and improvement. We talked already about the fact that in order to grow, you need to get into that discomfort zone and you need to get through that. That's where growth happens. It takes courage to do it. So it really does allow you to continue to grow and improve and take on the next hard thing. It really does. Courage also, I mentioned that it will help you step out of your comfort zone. Now, the examples that I gave are sort of pre-planned within yourself. I want to do this. I have to be willing to get uncomfortable. I have to embrace that, and then I can break through. That's great. That's a great way to go. But this discomfort zone sometimes comes up when you least expect it or when you didn't plan it. Like in the example of this C-suite executive I met this morning, she does an excellent job of planning out the points that she wants to make, whether it's to the board, whether it's to analysts, that kind of thing. She's like really tight on that. But the questions you can't predict. And sometimes those can cause that stress reaction in you that can make you freeze a little bit. So the more you practice getting out of your comfort zone in ways you can control, the easier it is to deal with it when you're forced out of your comfort zone in a way that you may not have chosen. So it definitely is beneficial for you there and helping you think on your feet and all of that. And really provides you with greater perspective and expanded experience set because you will be drawn into, you will be willing to go places you haven't gone before. And I tend to think that similar to how did I come up with the topic of courage? Like I was seeing it all around me because I was seeing it in themes in my clients. It's a similar kind of thing. If you can get comfortable getting uncomfortable, you will find opportunities to practice that as you go on, and it just sort of feeds on itself. Leads to courage. You have to draw on that courage, which builds resilience, and that resilience is really helpful in leadership because you won't feel stuck when you're handed a problem that you maybe never have encountered before. You will see yourself as someone who's resilient and good at solving problems, even if that means pulling somebody in on your team who's the real problem solver. You started that action and helped move towards solutions. So that resilience really serves you well. Courage can also enhance your credibility. Huh? How'd you come up with that one? It really does, because you will be seen as someone who stands up for your values, who's willing to take a stand for sometimes the hard things. And other people really respect that and will come to you when they either need to learn how to do that themselves or they need support for a tough action or something like that. It really does improve your standing within your network and build your credibility. And courage leads to courage, which may sound repetitive, but if you think about it, it really builds a cycle in the very best way. Because when you stand up for yourself, when you stand up for something you believe in and you're successful, it makes it that much easier to do it again. So courage really does lead to courage. Now, sometimes you're going to take courageous act and it's not going to work out. Okay. There's still a lot to be learned from that so that you can make some shifts, change some things so that the next time your probability of success is improved. And you'll make sure that you're not making the same, I'm going to call it a mistake again, only because the outcome didn't work. But if you really learn from it, it's not a mistake. And one other thing that strikes me as a benefit of courage is that courage is optimistic. Because you're taking on something in the unknown. You're going into this. Nobody takes a courageous act thinking it's going to fail. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but almost nobody takes on a courageous act thinking that it's going to fail. You go into this courageous situation optimistic that it's going to work willing to make the adjustments, look around, bring in the resources you need to increase your probability of success. All of those are optimistic actions, and that really creates great ripples in the pond in your workplace, in people seeing the optimism and seeing the opportunities. So you can really be a leader for that. And when you take action in the face of adversity and when you persevere, which requires courage, you are moving forward in that optimistic way and you are creating a brighter future for those around you. It becomes contagious. You are a force for good in your community and in your network. I feel like I'm getting a little grandiose here, but I really believe this. I've seen it work. And so, think about courageous actions, big or small, as having a positive influence on those around you. Courage is fuel for your success, as well as your thriving and your happiness and being a positive influence for those around you and those that you're trying to develop. So there's my case for taking courageous action in the workplace, really to fuel your success, to fuel your happiness and your fulfillment.